Hey guys, welcome back to My Hero Academia, the strongest hero. In today's video, I wanted to go through what I think is one of the biggest issues in the game and give my suggestion on how to actually fix it. I was trying to write a message on Twitter and I realized I couldn't put this into text, and I'm recording the video, I'm going to post to them. I want to see what you guys think and if you agree with my thoughts on this. And what I'm talking about is multiple servers. Now, I've spent a lot of time in games that do multiple servers very well, but I feel like the current state, especially in the Taiwanese version, I don't know if they have any changes planned for global, but in the Taiwanese version, I think this game does it very, very poorly. So I want to suggest some fixes that they can do where they can leave multiple servers, but actually have it work well. So the two ideas that I'm going to go, and I'll go more into depth on what things to cross, what not. I'll go into depth into both ideas. But the first one is going to be have certain features cross server. It's a very simple answer to make things a lot better. The problem with this game and why it does it horribly is if you want to join a guild, if you're on server 1, your friend's on server 2, and you want to join a guild together, you can't. Like, if you want to be friends, you can't. If you want to compete with each other in PvP, you can't. Like, it's such a very basic thing that you might not think matters, but like, especially when it comes to joining a guild. Say you play on day 1, you jump on server 1, day 2 they're up to server 5, your friend joins, they're on server 5, they're like, oh, we can't be in a guild. Like, that just sucks when you're like just trying to get into a game. It's not a great experience for the player. So I think making things cross server is a fantastic idea. Now, if you're thinking, I understand one idea might be like, in this open world, you can actually see other characters, other players running around. Honestly, for me, scrap it. Don't worry about it. Just remove it from the game. I don't think it's meant to be, this game is not meant to be an MMO where you're like interacting with players in the open world. Like, it doesn't matter. There's no interaction that happens. You're better off scrapping that. The whole idea of this open world is to just explore the world of My Hero Academia. That's pretty much all I see it for. It's not a core part to have other players being seen, so just drop that feature. Like, I honestly think if you could play in a guild with your friends but not see them in the overworld, I don't think anyone's really going to cry about that. Now, the game that I'm referring to that does this very well, and I played over on my other channel, is AFK Arena. They're up to about 850 servers, but the thing they do is guilds, friends, all cross server. So I start on server 1, you start on server 850, I can invite you to my guild. I can add you as a friend. I can friendly battle with you in arena. All that stuff. Now, friendly battles is something I think they have to add to this game without a doubt, but that's another topic on itself. But if you know what I mean, if you could just, like, your friend jumps on server 10, you're on server 2, just go, okay, let's friend up and I'm going to smack you in arena. Like, that is fun. Just aside from the fact of we want to do friendly battles, things cross server, especially guilds and stuff like that, are very important. Now, something that I wouldn't do cross server, and this is where the multiple server thing can work really nicely in games, is like the collaborative war. Now, this PvP where you're basically, because this includes gear, it includes power-ups, all that stuff. So it's going to be not too fun to push this if you start 6 months down the track and people have had 6 months of progress. So this sort of feature is fantastic for multiple servers because it lets you compete with people that started around your time. I completely see how this makes sense. This PvP, however, it makes no sense. This PvP, if they did cross server stuff, my God, this game would be so much better. So the way this PvP works is it's server specific and you've got a two 2-hour windows throughout the day. Now, when you're up to 60 servers, if you just put all those players where they could fight against each other, keeping in mind, this PvP doesn't include gear, power-ups, anything. You get a level 1 hero summoned, you go into PvP, you're even. It's just your skill that matters, and ping. But, like, it's even. So if you put everyone into one global PvP bracket, you could probably leave this ranked open all day, every day. So for people who these periods are horrible for, which for me on the Taiwanese, they're horrible. One's in the middle of the night and the other one's when I'm picking up the kids. Like, you could make these actually practical sessions because you could just have it open all the time for all the player base to compete. On top of that, ranked PvP on multiple servers that we have on Taiwanese already, is just riddled with bots because they don't have the player base, because they got too many servers and they're trying to split it all up. So merge everyone into one server, have it running all the time. I think on global, the game will be big enough. It'll be fine. Now, just something I want to mention. Obviously, we have two versions of the game. We'll have the EU and the US version. There's nothing we can do about joining those together. They're separate publishers. They're separate apps. Unfortunately, that's like a completely strange thing in itself that I have no idea why they did that. But hey, that's its own thing. Unfortunately, that's it. But you'd have two basically servers, two PvP competitions. I think that would be 100% the best way to go about it. Once again, personal opinion. But yeah, I don't know why they don't do that. I don't know why. And people talk about, you know, server clog and stuff like that, but I feel like if you open it all day, people will spread out the times that they play and it won't be as bad as having a 2-hour window where everyone tries to get on. So I think that is 100% a good option. Like I said, just to recap the first option, have your multiple servers, have guilds and friends cross server, most things cross server, and then just have basically the collaborative war, make that server individual. Happy days, away you go. There's no issues with having multiple servers on stuff like that. The next method that I want to talk about is going to be something that I saw in Ooh La La Idle Adventure, which was a really interesting system. Now, this is going to sort of take into account the pack that they have. So if you didn't know, I made a video about it. They have this, not pack, but it's sort of like a mission on the closed beta, which is to get Endeavor. The top 10 players, power-wise, after I think it's like 7 days, get an Endeavor copy, and there's all these rewards. Now, what Ooh La La Idle Adventure did was they had like a ranking system with progress in the game, and after 14 days, I believe it was, everyone from that server got moved into a complete global server. So every server starts on its own for 14 days, and then once those 14 days are up, all those ranking rewards are given out, and then everyone moves into a global server. So this game could do that very well, whereas like, because these packs at the end of the day, like I know a lot of people like to be like, oh, free to play, look after free to play, like come on, it should be free, but it is a business. It needs to make money. Profit margins, you make your call on that, but hey, they're going to run it like a business. So those packs and having multiple servers for those packs is huge to entice whales to go ahead and spend money, progress faster, and get Endeavor. I am perfectly cool with that type of thing. I have no issues with that, as long as they eventually make a way to get him free to play in the game for players who just save up currency. And I think doing that system of, say, 7 days, because that's what the event ran for, and then after 7 days, those rewards are given out, and then everyone on that server is dumped into the broader global server, and then everyone can compete together in everything. Now, the reason I like the other way more, which is having the multiple servers, but having guilds and friends and stuff cross server, is that, yeah, I'm just gonna have to quit this, is that with the leaving the multiple servers, it leaves you open to actually split up that collaborative war. So with the way that I'm talking about now, where you have multiple servers after 7 days, they all merge into a global server, that would just mean that your collaborative war would become a complete global competition. So if you start 6 months behind, you are 6 months behind on gear and all that sort of stuff. But honestly, either way would be much better than what it is at the moment, in my opinion, just because. And the other thing with collaborative war, which other games do, is you could have collaborative war, which I've seen in something like, I think it's Princess Connect, Marvel Strike Force does this, where the collaborative war, you could have brackets for this, where you, like, each bracket has a certain amount of players. Once it's filled up, it just starts a new bracket, and then it starts a new bracket. So it could have its own thing as well. Like, there's multiple ways you could actually go about doing this. But I think being able to let players who start on server 3 play with their friends on server 1 is a very needed part to this game. And I don't know how hard it is to implement. I'm not a developer. I just know other games do the multiple servers and do it much better than this game, and I'd like to see them implement some of that stuff. Anyway, let me know if you agree. Let me know if you have any additional thoughts on this sort of stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.